And that only leaves the rumor mill. In this rumor mill, we have a whole lot of stuff to talk about, just probably not going to go anywhere. We have Doctor Strange 3 is in the rumor mill. We have Harley Quinn live action finding its way into the rumor mill, plus Rainbow Six Siege is a pretty strong rumor we're going to get to at the very end of this, but that's what we got, so let's get into it. Hello, nerds. I know what you want. You're looking for the rumors, aren't you? Well, you've probably come to the right place, because that's what this is. This is the rumor mill. This is a section cut out of the much longer main episode over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. The name of the show is The Week in Nerddom. We talk about all of the news related to nerdiness and pop culture and such. And then at the end of every episode, we talk about the rumors. And so you just found a cheat code and you went straight to the rumors section, which is, you know, all right. So let's just cut to the rumors now, shall we? So, new sources for old rumors. Our first one is Avengers Secret Wars. We have a new rumor saying that Hugh Jackman will in fact be reprising his role one more time for Wolverine in that movie. Though, to be fair, very likely we're going to see a whole lot of cameos that are just walk-on bits, and then they do maybe a line of dialogue, and that's about all we're going to get out of them. So probably Hugh Jackman's just going to do that, but that's been the speculation of mine ever since this became speculation. But this comes from much more reputable sources, so it seems like it is in fact lining up to go that way, assuming the strikes end sometime relatively within the next year or so. So yeah, it's a new source for an old rumor. We're not going to give it an update to the likelihood because it's already pretty likely. Let's get into the juicy bits, and that is the new rumors, shall we? So in new rumors, we have Doctor Strange 3 has apparently been greenlit, and not just that, the rumor goes on to detail that it is going to be an adaptation of the Time Runs Out comic written by Jonathan Hickman circa 2014, and it is going to be a direct lead into the Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty Avengers movies, which are set to come out in 3 and 6 years respectively. So likelihood for this one, the trilogy thing is kind of built into the Disney process at this point. So we were already expecting this. Assuming nothing crazy happens with the strikes, very freaking likely this is going to be a thing. So 80% likelihood that we will see a Doctor Strange 3 movie, and that those other pieces will also fall in line. The time runs out, leads into Avengers, so on and so forth. 80% likelihood there. From there, we're going into Witch's Road, which is a new rumored Disney Plus series that is going to be coming tied in with the Scarlet Witch saga, effectively. So this is going to deal with the Agatha Coven of Chaos series, and between Witch's Road and Agatha, we are going to find out, according to this rumor, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, has in fact survived the end of Multiverse of Madness, which seems very strange, and how likely is that? But this is just such a big thing. Oh, I apologize. The rumor doesn't say it's going to be a series proper. It's going to be a special event on Disney Plus, much like the Werewolf by Midnight. I'm sorry, I didn't read that correctly. But still, that doesn't change any of the rest of that. It is not going to feature Wanda Maximoff in Witch's Road, nor is she going to be in the Agatha season 1. But they are both going to acknowledge her existence in the greater omniverse, if you will. So again, this just doesn't seem... It seems like a tall order for something that really hasn't been set up at all yet. So, and strikes and things are definitely still a factor here. So for us to be learning about new things that don't have writers and don't really have showrunners because everybody's on strike seems rather unlikely. So this, though, does feed into, or play off of other previous rumors we've talked about. So we're going to up it just over halfway. We're going to go at about 60% likely we're going to see this, but that's not as strong as maybe it sounds. From there, we have the live action Harley Quinn rumor. Rumor has it that Margot Robbie is said to be returning for the role of Harley Quinn in James Gunn's DC universe. Kind of, again, going along those same lines of previous rumors having to do with Zachary Levi and Gal Gadot and so on and so forth, returning, and it doesn't seem very likely. Joe Manganiello, also we talked about previously. None of these seem super likely, because if you're going to reboot the universe, then reboot the universe, and you're not going to bring in a whole bunch of other people. I understand the Peacemaker situation, because Peacemaker, he did very insular on purpose, I would imagine. But still, like, beyond the Peacemaker, the stuff the Peacemaker touched directly, the rest of it seems like grasping at straws. So we're putting this one even slightly lower than the Witch's Road situation. We're going about 55% that Margot Robbie will be returning to that role. She is something of a brand new movie star now, which kind of also plays against it, because she's going to be much more expensive to put in movies now that she's made $50 million on Barbie, right? So kind of plays against that rumor. From there, we have a new rumor on the Nova situation. Previously, we talked about Jared Padalecki, possibly Jensen Ackles, possibly somebody else playing the role of Nova. Well, this new rumor has it that Nova has in fact been canceled. Kind of. That's the headline grabber, right? It hasn't in fact been canceled. It's been put on the back burner, if you will. According to the rumor, it will not be made anytime soon. They're not going to go into active development for a Nova series or movie. They're going to keep Nova in their back pockets, and then a few years down the road, possibly revisit it. Is the way is the inference, I guess, that you get from the rumor. This seems extremely likely to me right now, because of the current situation of, again, strikes and just Marvel's announcements in general. They keep saying they're going to cut back, they're going to space their movies out a little bit more, they're not going to give us quite the same overload that we've been getting in years previous. And so a relatively unknown character like Nova, unknown to normies, don't hang me in the comments, but a relatively unknown character like Nova, it seems like something that they would definitely put to the side for a while until they can set it up in a more proper way, which is honestly a good thing. That being said, we're looking at about 90% likely that Nova has been put to the backside, and we won't be seeing it anytime soon. From there, we have more DC rumors. We're just going to bounce all over the place. This DC rumor has to do with the Ayer cut of the Suicide Squad. Ayer cut, if you don't remember, Zack Snyder got the Snyder cut of his Justice League movie. David Ayer has been very vocal about the fact that his version of the Suicide Squad is not what was released into theaters, and the version that was released into theaters was very heavily edited by the production company, Warner Brothers specifically, and his is a much better, much more cathartic ending, and makes a lot more sense and isn't quite so crazy edited and so on and so forth. So we now have new rumor direct from David Ayer himself, because since he's not the man in charge, he can't make this final decision, that his movie will in fact be released to some degree. He said that he got word direct from Gunn that it will get its time, I believe is how it was phrased. So the slightly vague vocabulary that James Gunn used in David Ayer's quote seems to not play very well in his favor. There is a possibility that he was just trying to brush him off and get him to be quiet. Not super likely, but possible. So that being taken into consideration, and also previously we've heard that it's not going, through no uncertain terms, the official announcement is that it's not going to happen. So that kind of kills it a little bit too. So we're putting this one at about 70%. There is very little reason to doubt David Ayer, but again, he's not the man with the power, so he can't make it happen. So 70% likely that the Ayer cut will be released. Next, we're moving over to Star Wars. This time we're talking Ahsoka. This rumor, again, is one that we kind of anticipated when Ahsoka was announced as a series. Obi-Wan is said to be cameoing at some point in the Ahsoka series. yeah, they've already screwed up the timeline so bad. Why not put Obi-Wan in the Ahsoka series? I'm giving this one a 90% because they're really doing whatever they can. And since the Obi-Wan series was relatively well received, they're going to try and relatively, I mean, taking into consideration more recent things that have happened over at Disney, it seems likely that they're going to try and staple him on. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we also get a Luke Skywalker cameo in the Ahsoka series, or Darth Vader at least. So yeah, we're looking at 90% likely that that's a thing for Ahsoka. And then our final piece of rumor for this episode is Rainbow Six Siege. It's a gaming rumor. Rainbow Six Siege, the game that's been around for quite a while, but it's still getting support from its developer, is said to be releasing a Master Chief playable skin sometime in the near future. This is not a regular source of mine for gaming, but it is a very convincing source, if you will. Honestly, down in the description, I don't usually do this in the rumor mill because rumors are just for conversation, not for analysis necessarily. But there is going to be a link to the tweet that this was made known so that you can see just how convincing this source really is. Yeah, 98%. I will be very surprised if we don't see Master Chief. The interesting thing about this is going to be, is it going to be an Xbox exclusive, Xbox and PC likely, or is it going to be universal across all platforms? Because it's also on the PlayStation. So are they going to bite the bullet and release a Microsoft exclusive character to all platforms? Very interesting to see if that happens. Either way, 98% likely that this rumor is legit. Once again, these were the rumors from the most recent episode of The Week in Nerddom, found over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. The name of the show, once again, The Week in Nerddom. Come back next time because we got lots more rumors to debunk or possibly give some credence to or what have you and whatnot. Before we go, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.